All right, what is up, Utes fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and it's good to be here with you guys. So I've been hitting a bit of a conundrum lately where I see a lot of information on the internet about the top 25 most valuable college football teams. That's nice and all, but I think I could probably guess who the top 25 most valuable college football teams are without that list, right? There's a few outliers, but in general, you know who it is. For me, what's more interesting is after we get outside of those top 25, which is mainly just SEC and Big Ten, who makes up the rest of these lists? So this will be a really fun exercise for us, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the top 20 most valuable college football teams that are not in the SEC and that are not in the Big Ten. So this is going to be a super exciting list. If you guys are fans of the Big 12, if you're fans of the ACC, if you're fans of the Pac-12, let's see if your team made this top 20 list. Also, please like the video. It helps a lot in getting it out to more viewers just like you that want college football content. Also, comment below in the chat. What do you guys think of the video? Do you think there's data that I'm missing on here? Do you like how in-depth we went with the data? And also subscribe to the channel if you're a big Utah Utes fan. I love having you guys here, and I love the discussions we have. Before we dive into the actual data, I do want to tell you guys, so there was a Wall Street Journal article that talked about the most valuable college football teams. They went into revenue generated. They went into total value, estimated value of the football team. And then there was another list I found where a guy, I think his name's Scott Miller. Don't quote me, though. I'll probably put it in the description so you guys can look. But he looked at views per week from 2015 to 2019. So it's not the most up-to-date information possible, but it's the best information that I was able to find. And honestly, that's a pretty damn good sample size, right? That's basically 5 football seasons right there. So it should give us really good info. So I'm excited to look at this information with you guys. We should have a lot of fun. And on that note, one other thing. At the end of the video, I am going to drop the top 10 teams that didn't make it, so 21 through 30. So please do stick around to the end of the video if you want to see that. All right, let's start looking at it. Go Utes.
This is Zach Moss, NFL running back and former Utah Utes running back. You're listening to the Utah Utes Football Digest, the source for Utah Utes football. Go Utes.
All right, guys, so here we go. Let's start with number 20 for the top 20 teams outside of the SEC and the Big Ten in overall value. That's value generated, that's annual revenue, and that is total views per week from 2015 to 2019. Let's take a look. So number 20 is going to be Baylor. First ball drops. So Baylor shines in views per week. Recent success in football probably reflects a lot on that. They average 1.12 million views per week, and that puts them at number 13 for all the teams outside of the SEC and the Big Ten. So very good ranking there, almost in that top 10 for that category. Where they struggle is their actual value as a program. Annual revenue, only $50 million. And their estimated value of the program is $105 million, so not great there. Number 19 is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is not the greatest in views per week. Georgia Tech is 29th in views per week, which kind of hurts them here. They're 615,000 per week, which is almost half of what Baylor was. The thing that saves Georgia Tech and puts them above a team like Baylor at number 19 is they're 12th in value. So the estimated value of the program is $215 million. The revenue generated last year was $59 million. The next school we're going to talk about, coming in at number 18, is Washington State. Washington State, solid in both categories, but even a little more solid in views per week. Number 16 in views per week at 909,000. Ranking 25th of all the programs we're looking at in value. Their annual revenue, $51 million. And the actual value of the program, $142 million. So pretty valuable school there. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was a little surprised how high Washington is on this list. I feel like they have been talked about like the ugly step kid in a lot of these conference realignment negotiations. So hopefully this type of information can help them find a spot in a new program if the Pac-10 dissolves, Pac-12 dissolves, right? All right, and then at number 17, we have Iowa State. Iowa State shine just really solid in both categories. So number 19 in value, 47 million annual revenue, but 187 million in total value. That's through the roof. Number 21 in views per week at 747,000 per week. So definitely a solid school that would be a benefit to almost any program, right? This next one's probably going to shock a few of you guys, and some people might be shocked they're not higher. Some people might be shocked they're not a lot lower, right? So the next one is Cal. Cal is coming in at number 16. Estimated value is 198 million with an annual revenue of 61 million. They are number 22 in views per week at 730,000. So definitely real good for Cal there. A lot better than what I was expecting. So that is number 20 through number 16 here. Just to recap, number 20 was Baylor. They were number 30 in value, number 13 in views per week. Georgia Tech was number 19. They're number 12 in value and number 29th in views per week. Washington State is number 18. They're number 25 in value, number 16 in views per week. Iowa State is 17th. They are number 19 in value and number 21 in views per week. California is 16. 16, and they're 16th in value and 22nd in views per week. So that's the first group of teams. Now let's take a look at the next batch. All right, now we're breaking into the top 15. The first team of the top 15 is Kansas State. Kansas State is ranked number 15 overall. Number 8 in value, super high there, 68 in annual revenue, or 68 million in annual revenue, but 277 million in estimated value of the program. That's through the roof there. Definitely a great brand of football they got over there at Kansas State. It's way higher than any team we've seen so far. The reason Kansas State is not a lot higher on this list is that their average views per week is 28th on the list of the teams outside the Big Ten and the SEC at 682,000 a week. So if they were winning more games and, doing a better job there, that number would probably look a little better. So Louisville comes in at number 14. Louisville is number 21 in overall value, 58 million in annual revenue, and 175 million in estimated value of the program. Where Louisville really shines, though, is going to be in their views per week. Don't forget this. This views per week is the Lamar Jackson era, right? So they come in number 12. Louisville is 1.22 million views per week, and that's number 12 in views per week. They're number 14 overall. Now this next one is one that I think a lot of the consistent viewers of this channel are waiting to hear. And yes, that is right. Number 13 is the Utah Utes. Utah is number 13 in value as well at 61 million annual revenue and 213 million in value of the program. That surprised me, but I'm not going to dispute it. I'm not surprised. I think Utah has a real deep fan base. If you guys are in the Utah area, Utah, you're either BYU or Utah, and you're sticking to your guns. And then number 17 for Utah in views per week, which is 856,000. Solid in both categories. After a couple good years by Utah recently, outside of this, sample size we're looking at, I would imagine that number might be even better. All right, and now number 12 is Arizona State. Arizona State is number 4 in overall value. Who would have guessed that, huh? 70 million in annual revenue. So I think that's more than any team we've looked at. Yep, it's more than any team we've looked at. And $300 million is the estimated value for the program. That's ridiculous. This is why Arizona State is only number 12, though. They are number 25 in views per week at 695,000 views per week. That's not going to cut it on this list. But either way, that value's through the roof. I'm sure teams look at Arizona as a solid pickup if they're able to get him. Number 11, so the last one of the teens, is going to be Texas Tech. Texas Tech is number 10 in overall value. It's basically $62 million. It's $61.9 million in annual revenue, and $244 million is their projected value of the program. They're number 15 in views per week at 921, so real solid there as well. Texas Tech, for me, surprised me as I went through the list, but thinking back, like how big of a brand Texas Tech really is, I wasn't as surprised. So that is the teens. Next, we go into the top 10. All right, guys, and here we go into the top 10. Let's start it off with number 10, TCU, Texas Christian University. TCU has one of the highest views per week. They rank number 6 in views per week at 1.495 million. That's huge there. I mean, we're almost talking 1.5 million per week. That means they have a huge fan base that is rabid about football, but it's Texas, not a surprise. The reason they're not higher is they are number 18 in overall value, so a big disparity there between their value and their views per week. They 66 million annual revenue and 191 million estimated value of the program. That is number 10, TCU. And number 9 is going to be Miami. Miami, really similar to TCU in these rankings. They're number 5 in views per week, a huge fan base, 1.503 million views per week. Where they struggle is the value of their program. Annual revenue, pretty rough at 47.8. They're 17th overall in value, 47.8 million annual revenue, but the estimated value of the program is very big at 193 million. Virginia Tech, number 8 overall. They are real good in both categories. Number 7 in actual value. This shocked me a little. Maybe I'm ignorant. I just had no idea Virginia Tech was this valuable. 65.8 million in annual revenue, and 278 million is the estimated value of their program. And they are number 11 in views per week at 1.26 million. All right, and now we go into number 7. Number 7 is going to be Stanford. Stanford is number 11 in overall value. Number 11 in overall value at 68.3 million annual revenue and 232 million in estimated value of the program. They're also number 7 in views per week at 1.43 million. So a respectable program in all categories there. I would imagine those views per week might look a little worse if we had updated info, considering they had some pretty rough seasons recently. And then number 6, the last team before we go into the top 5, is going to be Oklahoma State. Now, I figured Oklahoma State would not be low on this list, but number 6 was surprising to me. So it's pretty awesome. Really good football program. And it doesn't surprise me when I see them at number 4 in views per week at 1.64 million. When you play good football like they do, the fans are going to tune in. They're also number 9 in overall value of the program at 63.9 annual revenue, $1 million in annual revenue, and 270 million in the estimated value of the program. And that was number 10 through number 6. Just to recap with you where we've gone so far before we talk about the top 5. Number 20, Baylor. Number 19, Georgia Tech. Number 18, Washington State. Number 17, Iowa State. California, number 16. Kansas State, number 15. Louisville, number 14. Utah, number 13. Go Utes. Arizona State, number 12. Texas Tech, 11. TCU 10, 9 Miami, Virginia Tech 8, Stanford 7, Oklahoma State 6. And now let's look at the top 5. All right, so if you guys are anything like me, as you get to the end of these lists, you start to think who hasn't been mentioned. For me, it's always hard to remember who hasn't been mentioned, but this list, I would imagine if you've been keeping track, you should know who's about to be in this top 5. I think the main question is, what is the order? So at number 5, we have Washington, the Washington Huskies. Real solid football program. Went to the college football playoff recently, and I'm sure that affects this this chart as well. It was even more recent in the time we pulled this. They're actually number 2 in overall value, $102 million in annual revenue, and $440 million in projected value of the program. That's nuts. That's really good. And then Washington is number 9 in views per week at 1.32 million. Great program down there at Washington, right in the heart of Seattle. Beautiful place. Number 4, we have Oregon, the Oregon Ducks, another one. Not in the center of everything, but just a great football program. Tons of investment from Phil Knight. They are number 3 in overall value at 81.9 million annual revenue and $348 million, so almost $350 million in estimated value of the program. They're also number 8 in views per week at 1.34 million. Now that brings us to the final 3. There are 3 teams left, and let's go ahead and dive in. So number 3, we have Florida State. Florida State is number 6 in overall value, 94.5 annual revenue, 289 million projected value of the program. Where they really shine, though, and where they become a huge value to any conference is their views per week. They're number 3 in views per week. The only teams above them in views per week are the teams we were about to talk about. Florida State is at 2.23 million views per week. Now, the final 2, I'm going to go ahead and just break the bubble for you guys. If you're not in tune, you might not know, but the final 2 are Clemson and Notre Dame. And coming in at number 2 is Clemson. Clemson is a heck of a program. Number 5 in overall value at 72.2 million annual revenue and 298 estimated total value of the program. And then Clemson is number 2 in views per week at 2.67 million. Heck of a program there at Clemson. Now, number 1 is number 1 in both categories. I did not think it was this big of a deal. They are untouched by everyone else. It is Notre Dame. Number 1 is Notre Dame. Number 1 in value is Notre Dame at 118 annual revenue. Estimated value of the program is $913 million. The next one is Washington at $440 million. More than double the next program in estimated value. That's nuts. And it gets even crazier when we go to the views per week. Notre Dame is number 1 at 3.61 million. Clemson is number 2 at 2.67 million. So huge disparities. Notre Dame is clearly the number 1 target, and it makes a lot of sense why the Big Ten is holding out to bring him in. So that was the top 20. Stay tuned, guys, and we'll talk a little bit about the teams that did not make the cut. All right, guys. Well, thank you for staying this far into the video. If you're still watching, if you haven't already, please do like the video, guys. I know it's annoying. I know everyone you watch on YouTube says it, but seriously, it really does go a long way. So if you could, like the video. Let's go ahead and talk about the 10 that did not make it. I'm going to kind of run through them. I'm not going to talk too much about different values. Number 30 is UCF, University of Central Florida. Number 29 is Virginia. Number 28 is Arizona. Number 27 is Syracuse. Number 26 is BYU, the team down south, BYU. Number 25 is Pitt. Number 24 is West Virginia. Number 23 is Colorado. Number 22 is North Carolina State. Number 21 is North Carolina. And on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This took a lot of research, a lot of digging into information. So I really do hope you guys appreciated it. And I wish you guys the best. Stay safe out there. Let's hope we get some action before the college football season gets going. Maybe some conference realignment. I feel like we've all been waiting for it. So I want to see something happen. But on that note, guys, I am out of here. I wish you guys the best. And go Utes.